All right. Good day, guys. My name is Precious. Welcome to my channel once again. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Uh, Today we'll be talking about development of solid faces. All right, solid shapes, basically how to develop curves. That's what we're trying to look at on the engineering drawing today. And today we'll be using this question. All right, I was sent this question, so I believe it's what we can use. Okay, good. Now we have this question to uh, design curves on. We have to make the curves come on this shape especially. So how do we do that, and what are the necessary steps and necessary tricks to solve this question without wasting much of our time? Let's just dive straight into it. Now the first thing we need to do is this: we need to replicate what we're given. As we can see, this is a first angle, so we need to replicate these two figures first, all right, before we can know the next step to take. Now replicating this, I want us to take note of the dimensions. The first one, which is the base of this, we're told that this is a cone, all right, and this is a cylinder in the middle of the cone. So the base of the cone is 600. The base of the cone is this, because one thing about the one trick basically I want you guys to understand or to know about development is this: what will be given, basically it happens for development and interpenetration too. Now the parts will be given will just be like our projection, all right, our projection, where we have first angle and third angle. Now most of the time they might give us front view and the side view, or they'll give us front and top or plan view, all right. Now either of uh whichever one they give us, actually we actually have to develop the third face. Majorly note this one: they'll give us two faces. They'll give us either front or and top, or side and front. Basically what you always just get from the whole thing is front is always going to be there. I want you to get that in mind. Or is always in rare cases where we'll see questions that will come out without having the front view given to us. So it's either front and top or front and side. Now let's go back to the question. Now we are to draw all of this, all right. Now that before we can determine where the curves will be. Now for this, I want you to take note of the base of this pyramid. This is, as far as we're looking at it, this side, we will assume this side to be the front view, all right, because it gives a the dimension depicts the front view of the shape, more like you're looking at the shape from the front. Now this one here is giving a circle at the base and a cylinder coming out of the circle. This is assumed to be the top view, all right. Now this is the top view, or we call it plan, and this is the front view. So we are going to replicate this. Now majorly sometimes we might all decide to draw might decide to draw our lines. Oops, we might decide to draw our lines, uh our orthographic lines, then start the projection, all right. But I wouldn't want to waste our time on that because it's not actually necessary. Now let's go back to the question, please. Now for the first thing we want, let's get the cone first. For the cone, we have 670. That's the total length of this cylinder. We don't need that for now. Let's check the top. For the top, we're given that the diameter of this circle. Now the circle, a cone is more like a triangle, but because it's a 3D shape, it will have what? A circular base. Now the circular base here is of diameter 396. So that means first things first, we need to draw a straight line, because we want to draw this first, the front view first. So that means from here to here is 396. So let's draw a line of 396. Line 396 in length. Good, we've gotten that. Now the next thing for us to do is to get the vertical height, all right. Now mind you, they won't always they will never give us the slant height. On rare occasions will you find slant height, you will only find vertical height. The vertical height here is 440. So let's input that 440. Now to draw that 440, we need to locate the main point, the midpoint of this line. How do you locate the midpoint? If your midpoint cursor is on, Yes, but if it's not, I would advise you come over, all right, to this part and put this on midpoint. All right, all these cursors, most of them need to be on, not all of them. All right, for you to get your accurate results. So back to the 440 in length, so 440. Good. Now we can now add the slant height to it, which is we can just start from here to here to here. So for the better part of this question, we've completed the first or the front view to an extent. It remains just for us to add this the cylinder part. Now to get the cylinder, we can't just fix the cylinder at any point. We need to get the midpoint of the cylinder. Now the midpoint of this cylinder from the base of this cone is 195. All right, is 195. So we need to measure from the middle here, 195. Now how wide is this cone? This cone is 240 millimeters wide. So that means 240 divided by 2. That means from here to this point is 120. From here to this point is 120. Let's go and input that. So remember, from the base we have to get 195. Good. Now this is 195, right? Good. Now remember, 195, we are now going 120 to the top. All right, 120 to the top, 120 to the bottom. So let's go 120 to the top. Let's just drop this here as a mean, as us showing that we've marked that place. I don't want double lines, so I'll clean that off. Now remember, we're going 120 to the top, right? So 120 to the top. Or let's do this instead, so we don't waste much time. Now we go 120 to the top, go 120 to the bottom according to this. All right, 120 here, 120 here, because it's cylinder, it will be uniform all around. Now I want you to note the length of this of the cylinder. The length of the cylinder is 670. So that means if we say 670 divided by 2, we'll have 335, right? So let's do that a shorter way. I just want to get this done. 335, right? So instead of drawing another line, let's just do this. We'll extend this by 335, meaning we would come here and just say let this one extend this one by 335. Good. Now we extend it this other way too by 335. Good. Now how I did that, please, is just using tab to switch. One of them is the major. Let me show it to you. This one with the blue marker on it. All right, where the blue mark is, that's the extension length. Whatever, let's say I want to extend it by 300 meters again, I will just press 300 there. It will extend it for me, right? But if I don't, or I want to make the original length of this line a particular, I'll just press tab. All right, by pressing tab, the marker automatically moves to this one at the center. That's the original length of this line is 670. Good. So without stressing ourselves, let's offset this by 120, because remember, this is the center. From this point to this point is 195. So that's the center. So 120 up, 120 down will offset this. Use 120. Good. 120, and we also have 120. Good. So I believe we don't need this line in the middle anymore, so we can erase this one off. Good. So the next thing for us to do is to add a line here. All right, then we can just offset this one too. All right, offset it by, now what's the distance from here to here is known to be 670, right? So we'll just type 670, and boom, we have our front view. But it's not complete. We need to, for it to look like this, all right, we need to trim some parts off. Now what are the parts we need to trim off? Quickly, we trim this part. All right, we trim this middle part. Let's trim this one off. All right, we trim this part. Let's trim this part. Now I will advise we leave this part for a particular reason. All right, I won't want us to touch it yet. So we trim this, we trim this, we trim this, we trim this one to off. All right. Yes, believe that's all we need to trim for now. Good. So like I said, I want us to leave this part. All right. Now the next thing for us to do, or the next thing we're going to do, is to draw the top. All right, the top view, this side, this is the next one we are going to draw. Now how do we draw this? Remember, we start first with a circle. All right, the circle of diameter 396, then the extension of this. So you can project that one easily. Now this is what we are going to do. We are going to extend this line. Now we can extend it to any length of your choice. All right, this one does not actually need a specific length or anything like that. Let's say I will use 250. Let me just use 250, or let me use 300. Let me extend it by 50 again. Good. Now I've extended this. The next thing for me to do is to draw. I'm trying to avoid the circle being too big or touching this. Okay, good, it's not going to. So the next thing for me to do is to draw a circle. Now the circle we are going to draw is of diameter 396, if I'm not mistaken. 396, yes, 396. So we'll just type 396. Good, enter. We have this already. All right, now from this part, remember also we have this cylinder cutting it. So from this center, we know we are going 120 up and 120 down, right? Good. How do we do that? Simple. From here, all we need to do is draw a line. No, 670. Remember the length, total length. The length is 670. The breadth is 240. So 670 divided by 2. Remember we said is 335. 335. Good. Then we extend this one to by 335 also. Extend this by 335. 335. Yes. Good. Now remember 120 up and, or I'm setting this line by 120 up and 120 down. So we have this. The offset is 120. We're offsetting this up, and we're also offsetting this down. Good. So apparently we don't need this line anymore. We erase it. Then this one, just extend this line to this point. Good. Extend this line to this point. Now it must be perfect. Good. Definitely. So we have oh yes, one more thing. We need to trim this too. We need to trim this part, trim this part, trim this part. Good. So we've successfully replicated what we have, made a replica of what we have here. All right, we have 396, 270, 670, 195, and 440. Now I remember telling you something, that for interpenetration and development, they have a simple trick to them. You see, when trying to develop these curves, there are sometimes you need to understand the question. All right, the question will give you an idea of what or how the curve is. Now for some question, the curves will just come in this form. All right, they will come at this side. All right, and they also come at this side of the triangle, showing you that this rectangle is penetrating this the cone horizontally. So you have one here and you also have one here. All right, and for some, it will just show you that you have a curve here and you have another curve here. All right, that is very, very important. How do you now know which one or which is which? Basically, how do you know which is which? It's simple. Now I want you to take note of this dimension. Here we have 240, so take note of that dimension. Now because it's a cylinder, we know this part is actually circular, right? So let's try again replicating this this cone. All right, that's how we're going to do. We'll try and replicate this cone. Now remember what we did. We said 396. Then we said to the center, we said 440. All right, to the top 440. All right, this is as good as you drawing the side view, all right, of the cone, but I want to you actually teach us a shortcut to actually do this. That's why I'm not going to draw this side view. I'm not going to make use of this side view, but we're going to actually use this. We're going to actually use something from this side view. We're going to actually use a function, method or a step from this side view. Now remember, it's 195 to the top. Good. So this is where we actually have that. Now, because that's the center, we'll now try the side view. Obviously, looking at this from the side means you are looking at the cone, and you will see the circular part of the rectangle of the cylinder only. Right, the circular part only. What's the diameter again? The diameter of this is 240. Remember, we said 120, 120. That's 240. Now you notice this. All right, note this, please. For every development that you are going to draw, development curve you're going to draw, once this circle, all right, extends outside this triangle of the side view, so you need to check this first. Once this circle extends outside the this cone, all right, or the triangle, let me just use triangle. Once the circle extend outside this triangle, it means your curve is going to come from the base of this cone to this other part, and from the top here to this other part. But if your circle is smaller, so much that it doesn't touch these lines, the lines of the cone, all right, or the lines of, let me make this 170. If your circle is like this, so much that it doesn't extend outside this triangle, all right, it means your curve is going to be from here to this part and from here to this part. Now don't panic, please. For this question, we know it's going to be from the bottom to this side, from the bottom here and from the top here. So I'm going to actually treat this question. In my next video, I'll also treat another question based on the one that will come on the side. It's a very simple it's a very simple drawing, and the techniques are very easy to understand. Now remember, I said we're not we're not trimming this, all right, initially. Good, there's a reason. Now that's all I personally will need this side view for, right? Good. Now let's come back to this. Remember, we don't need the question anymore. The question just says the front plan. Yeah, it was even giving you the front and the plan view of the interpenetration of a cone and cylinder are shown here, right? Complete the views with interpenetration curve. Good. So we don't need the question again. We've gotten all we need from the question, except you want me to introduce putting the dimensions here just to show, but I don't really need it. So please, let's just we know we've gotten what we needed, so let's just remove all of this. Good. Now the next step to take, all right, we are going to draw a semicircle here and also here. This reason why is this: I don't want to use this side view, all right. I don't want to use this side view here. So instead of not using that, I will just do a shortcut of drawing a semicircle here and here. If you use this side view, you are still going to get it. You are still right. You are not wrong, all right. But it's like a simple trick and a shortcut for me. Now let's start our semicircle. Now a semicircle should start from, or a circle should start from, let me use this. Sorry, let me use this 2 points. Oh, sorry, 2 points, 2 points. Yes, 2 points. So I'll start from here to this point. I'll also start from here to this point. All right, good. Then we trim. Next thing we do is to trim. We trim this part off. We trim this part off. So there we go. We have a semicircle. The radius is just 240. That's all. That's what we need. All right. Radius is 240. Good. We've done that. The next thing we have to do is to do this. We have to divide this circle. All right. And this circle and this circle, we're going to divide it into 6. Now, how do we do that? It's simple. Our advice: we trim this off. We trim this off. Now, the reason why I said trim, we'll get to know that now. We're trimming it so that by the time we want to offset it, by the time we want to array this part, we won't have complications or issues doing that. So let's do that here also. All right, good. Now we are going to array this one. Now, how are we going to do that? You highlight your line, you come here, you array it. It will ask you for select the grip or the array you want, the type of array you want. Now we don't want rectangular. We don't want rectangular, so I'll just press escape. We don't want rectangular. So I'll come here again, click it. You can use array. I'll just come here and use this polar array. It's polar array I need. Good. So it's asking for the center point of array. Alright? Center point is this point. You click it. Good. Now remember we said how many sides, how many lines do we need? How many segments do we need? We need 6. Item is 6. Good. But we don't need this full. We need this, all these 6, we need them at this semicircle part. So what do? You come here. Alright? Here at this point here you have 360 degrees. That's why it's rotating round. So what you just do is you change it to 180 and you press enter. Instantly it moves to this part. Alright, now for in my case, what happened was I've done it before. Alright, I've done this part. Oh, sorry, I've done this part before many times. Alright, so that's why when I clicked it, it moves straight. Sorry, it's not going to be 6 because we're counting from 0 to 6, so we're going to have to count 0, so it's going to be 7. Sorry, we're going to have 7. Good. So that this line will come, this line will show. So here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, correct. Now good. So now for some of us, like I was saying earlier, for some of us what we'll have is we'll have it facing down. Alright, so if you don't want it to face down, what do? It's simple. What you do is you come here. When you highlight it, you come here, you come to rotate. Alright, when you come to rotate, it actually says specify your base points. This is what I'm saying. For some of us, this is how it will look like. It will come out like this, or it will come out like this. It depends. Alright, now you want to take it to this point, just drag it to the horizontal line here. Alright, you can rotate it anyhow you want, so drag it to the horizontal line here, and that's it. Okay, now we repeat the same step for this one. Remember what we said we are going to do. Highlight polar array. You have to come and select it here, or it's here already, so you just select it. Polar array, so actually select object. Sorry, no, we have to highlight it. Good. Polar array, select center point of array. We do the same thing. We come here, 7. Remember it's 7 because we are including that, and here we change it to 180. Good. All right, I believe we're okay with this. Now we'll just have to deal with the labeling next, because I'll have to label this. All right, we want to label this one so that we have our work looking good. So for the text, I'm using multi-text line. I would drag one here. I'll call this one 0. All right, I'll call that 0, and I want to explain something about the numbering to us. No, I'll call that 3. Let me call it 3. Sorry, 3. So instead of pressing and don't press enter, just press escape. All right, I'll call this 3. So I'll drag 3 here. All right, I'll drag 3 here. Oh, okay. It's still 3. I will make another one. I'll call that one 2. All right, for the 2, I will have this. Come in, please. For this one, I'll call this part 2. Copy also. Then I'll have one more. Oh, sorry, 2 more. Second to the last one. I'll call this 1. All right. Now, different people use different numbering, please. All right. This is just the one I choose to use. I'll call this 1. I'll copy this also. All right. Then for the last one, I'll have this. I'll have this to be 0 because we're counting down, right? 3, 2, 1, 0. Now for this, I'm not going to copy this. I'll just drag it straight to this point. Good. So this one, this 0, we'll go back to using 1. Oops. I'm coming. Okay. Okay, let me just move it. Okay. All right, we move. We don't copy this time. For this one, we move it. And for this also, we move it. Okay, So I believe we have something good here. Good. So we have this. All right. This is the numbering we're using. Now we'll number this one also. All right. But the numbering is going to be different. Now remember that whenever for this is a front view, right? So it's more as if you are viewing this from the front. For this is a top view. So it's going to look like this. Let me borrow one of these. Let me borrow one of these. So let's control C it. Now it's going to look like this. Like you're looking at this from the top. Alright? Now if you're looking at it from the top, which number would you see first? You will see what? 3 first. So that means 3, because you're looking at this from the top, 3 will now come and be here. Alright? This is where 3 will be. This point. Because you're looking at it from the top. The top you're looking at, like from this arrow here, direction following the direction of this arrow, you have this. So that means 3 will now be here. The 3 you are seeing from this point will come here. Alright? Because this is the base. This is the base of the cone, and this is the, so without what I'll do, let's just do this. Now please don't mind me. I'm just trying to make little manipulation without stressing myself. Don't mind my lazy self. Good. So we copy here. Now remember I said 3 is supposed to be here, right? So we just edit this, double click on it, then change it to 3. Alright, so if this is 3, down here this will be 3, 2, 1, 0. 0 will be up here instead. So we change this one to double click fast. So you have 2, escape. Here you double click also. You have 1, escape. Oh, sorry. 1. Okay. And here you have 0. 0. Escape. So we do the same thing here. We'll have 3, 2. Here we have 1. 1. And finally here we have 0. Okay. So here we have 0. Good. Alright, now we've dealt with the numbering, right? Now the next thing is to do this. Now you see something with interpenetration is this. We make use of one of the methods we make use of is the parallel line. Alright, this here is what we're just going to make use of parallel line to transfer these curves. Now how do we do that? Now just so we get what we are looking for, I would like to assign colors to these lines. Alright, so that we don't get confused. I'll assign colors to those numbers, sorry. Alright, so that we don't get confused. Alright, so just follow me, please. Now we're going to make parallel lines. Now this is the reason why I said we shouldn't trim this part off that time. Alright, so we're going to make parallel lines, and the parallel lines will start. This is the first one. The first one is going here. Alright, good. Now for 3, what should we give color should we give 3? I believe we can give 3 let's give 3 red. Yes, let's give 3 red. Good. So we'll draw another line for 2 from this point. Remember, it's going to be from this point. Let me show you very well. It's going to be from this point. I thought as much. It wasn't showing. Alright, good. Now for 2, let's give 2 green. Let's give 2 green. We'll make another parallel line for 1. Okay. Now you see that what happened earlier on, alright, where I discovered why I clicked here wasn't this part but this part, was because most of my cursors were on. I'm talking about these ones, alright. Majority of them you don't need them, but many of them are very, very important, alright. But you can't need one, then come here, then click it, then go back again, use it, then come back and turn it off. No, so you have to be very, very careful when using these cursors. Good. Let's come back to 1. Which color should we assign to 1? Let's give 1 yellow. Okay. And finally we have 0. So for 0 we transfer it here too. Let's give 0, give it a different color. Let's give 0 blue. Let's give it this magenta. Now we've transferred this, so we need to complete these ones also. We need to complete the parallel lines. Good. We do the same thing here. Good. And then finally we do the same thing here. Good. So now remember, what is 1? 1 is yellow. Good. What is 2? 2 is green. Good. What is 3? 3 is red. Good. Alright, because these lines are they're about to get a little bit confusing, that's why I'm using this. Now, you now see from here, alright, with this the first stage, we have to do the same thing here. But before we do the same thing, what we are going to do is this. Now, this is the reason why we are transferring these lines, alright? Now you see these ones that we are this one especially we transfer, we could have as well transferred it from this side view. Alright, remember I said we needed side view also, alright, but we are going to ignore it here. We could have well transferred it from this side view to this point, alright, and as long as this part and this one will be the same thing, they will they will still meet at this point, meaning you just have to extend this, alright, to this point, alright, then start drawing your triangle from here. By the time you are transferring those lines, they will meet at all of these points too. Good. So we just want to use this one to avoid using the side view. So let's focus back here. Let's draw our focus back to this point. Now we are going to transfer each of these lines down, alright, to meet a certain point here. But before we do that, let's do this. We're going to draw a line, an horizontal line here. Good. So this is where we'll transfer each of these lines. Now remember, we're transferring this line is from this point. Make sure it's perpendicular. Why is this mouse shaking? Okay. Coming. Let's quickly do that. We'll transfer another line. Transfer another line. Here. Good. Transfer another line. Good. We'll transfer another line. Oh, sorry. Transfer this line also. Here. Okay. Transfer this line. Down here. Transfer this line also down here. Now also we need to show the colors of this line, right? But before we show the color, so that we won't be making the same thing. Now what we're now going to do is this. We'll come here to draw a circle. Alright, circle, I'm using radius. Now a circle will be tangent to each of these lines. We're doing about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 circles, but they are going to be tangent to each of these lines. How? Click on your circle function, then come here and do this. You'll come here and draw your first circle. Just extend your first circle to this first line. Come here again, repeat the same step to this second line. You will draw your circle again to this third line. Make sure you just miss the points. The circle again to this line. Alright, circle again to this line. Good. Then your circle again to this line. So now let's go back and now do this. Remember the first line, this line here, alright, meets this line, and this line is for this circle. So let's change the color to red. That is red. Alright, the second line is this line here, alright, which is green. Second line is this line here, which is green. All right, good. Green. We're going to change this to green. This one I'm just using these colors, please, so that I won't get confused. The next line is yellow, this line here, and it's to this circle here. Oops, sorry. And it's to that circle there. That line is yellow. Wait, I'm going to done that already. Yes, okay. Yes, yellow. The next line is this one, the line of 0, which is magenta. Alright, the magenta, we're going to change this to magenta. Good. The next line is yellow again. Alright, so it's more like we're going back these colors now. So the next line is yellow. It's going to be yellow. Next line is going to be yellow. Oh, didn't we draw a circle for that? Wow, how did we miss that? I'm so sorry, we missed that. Alright, good. So the next line is going to be yellow. Why am I drawing line? Yellow again. Yellow. Yes. The next line we have is going after yellow. No, we have green, so we're going to have green also. Good, green. Yes. And the next line we're going to have again is going to be red. That's for 3. Good. So now if you go back and check, you will discover all the lines fit perfectly. Alright, good. We've done justice to this part. Alright, please let me just do this so that we know our shapes, the solid shapes we are using. I'm coming, please. Just a sec. I'm coming. Okay, so what I want to do is, no, I just want to increase the line weight so that we know the difference. Oh, it's not done, so I'll just come here and put this on. Alright, so I believe we've done justice to this to an extent. Let me just pull this. Just a second, please. Going to have it here also, and we're going to have it here also. Good. I just want to make sure these lines are okay. Now, please, should be because it might this question might show up in your exams. You see, all this I'm doing can be done at the end. Alright, at the end of the question, when you are done, just make your work look good. Please don't do this in between the questions. Alright, when you are still trying to solve some of these questions, please don't do it then. Alright, good. Then okay, and one more. Yes, that's the one. Good. So, and with 0.6. Good. Alright, so I believe we have that. Now the next thing we have to do is this. Alright, after we've drawn each of these lines and we've assigned circles to them, now the next thing we have to do is to use this, trace each line to this point, to this circle. What do I mean by that? We start with 0. Now what's the color of 0 here? Magenta, right? We'll use 0 to trace that. Now we discover something. If we decide to use 0 to trace this, it won't touch. Alright, it has to be perpendicular, it has to be straight, 0 degrees, but it won't touch. This to tell you, alright, if you get to this stage in your interpenetration, once you get to know that one of these circles won't touch, it means the curve you are drawing is not from here to this point, it is rather from this point to this point. Alright, that's the very, very simple trick. You can discover it at this point, or you can first draw this this side view here to know, then continue your work. So I obviously know it's not going to meet up, right? But there is a solution to that. What's the solution? Just watch. Now we ignore 0, then we try 1. 1, the color of 1 is yellow. Will 1 touch? Let's see. Will 1 touch? Yes, 1 will touch. Good. Will it touch the second yellow? Definitely not. It's not going to touch the second yellow. So we ignore that for now. We try for 2. The color of 2 is green. So will 2 touch? Yes, 2 will definitely touch the first one, the first green, and it will touch the second green. Alright? Good. Now we try for 3. 3 is red. So 3 will touch the first red, definitely touch the second red too. Good. We go back to 2. Alright, you can continue this, alright, but because we're on a time, we are trying to make our work, complete this work in a faster way, and we're not using our hands. Alright, at the beginning we're using tools on our drawing board, and we will actually have to complete this so that we can make sure it's going to be a perpendicular line. But with this, we don't need, we've gotten our 3 2 1. 0 is not included, but we've gotten this, right? Now the next step, alright, for us to do is to draw another perpendicular line. Now please, sorry, let me make this yellow. We'll make 2 green. We'll make 2 green. We'll make 3 red. Yes, just for us to differentiate these lines. Good. Oh, let's just do it. Alright, okay. And we have this. Good. Now the next thing for us to do now is this. We are now going to project these lines up. Alright, we're going to project this way up. Now, oh sorry, I'm going to have to do this. We're going to have to extend this to this part. Now we said it doesn't touch this yellow in the middle, but it can extend and touch this other side. Yes, so we do that too. And we extend this one also, this green also, we extend it to this point. Now this is the main reason why I said we need to use colors on them. Now this red doesn't really mean, alright, don't actually necessarily need to extend this, but let's just extend. This is the reason why this is why I use colors on these lines. Now from this point where this line meets this circle, we are going to draw another perpendicular line up, alright, till they get to each of these line. What do I mean by that? Simple. We'll start with yellow first. Alright, starts with yellow. Yellow meets the circle here, which is 1. 1 meets the circle here. Alright, here, and also here. That's 1. Alright, and 1 also, apart from that point, it also meets it here, here, and just there. We don't need any other place. So we highlight these lines and make them yellow. Okay, yes, yellow. Good. Now the other ones, for the other ones, let's get through to those ones too. For the other ones, we move to green. Green, the first point of green is here. So green is going here, and it's also going here. Nah, we don't need it in this point because it's not, this is the arc we need here, so we don't need it there. So we just come here and put it here. Okay, good. Alright, now does this look like 90 degrees? I'm coming, please. I want to make sure it's 90 degrees. Okay, from here to here. Okay, yes, it's 90. Why is it now looking bent? For the second point, we'll have from here to here. No, we need this one here to here. Yes. Then we move over to this other side from here to here. Good. Then the last one for green, we have here, we have it here, we also come and have it here. The other one is going to be Okay, so this is green, this is green, this is supposed to be green, this is supposed to be. Now note for the smaller circles, the arc is going to be appearing here. That's why I didn't bother putting it here. Alright, it's going to be green and this is going to be green. So we're making all of those green. Good. Now for the next one, whoa, this is work. Alright, for the next one, it is 3. Alright, so for 3, we said 0 is what again, please? 0 is magenta, so we don't have that. Next one is 3. We've done for yellow, we've done for green. We're supposed to do for red. Now for the red, what we just need to do is simple. I don't think we need for red. I'm trying to check this. No, we don't need for red. We already have the points where red hits. Alright, we don't actually need for red. If we want to draw it, it doesn't actually it's not going to make any difference. So we already know the points for red. So now what do? The next thing we're going to do now is to identify each of these points. That is here, here, here. Alright, then we're going to have here. Now you see this point here signifies the center of the cylinder. Alright, remember from the base to that part is about 195. Yes, that's what we're given, 195, right? Good. So those are the points we are going to pick, or the points, yes, the points we are picking. Now it's going to look this way. Now you can use your arc. Alright, we can decide to use this arc, or there is another method. You can just use spline. Alright, spline. Sorry, spline. What do I keep calling it? Alright, so we'll start from here. That one just continues the line for you instead of using arc. Alright, this point. Now you see for 0.0, we said we never had 0.0, right? This is the reason why. Sorry, let me do this. So I want to increase the line width. I don't want that thin line. I want it to be 0.6. Good. Spline. Yes. So we start from here. These are first points, our second point. Now remember I said third point. Now remember I said we don't have 0 that time, right? This is the reason why, because 0 is actually meant to be at this point where to cross the middle line. That one. Then we go back again, continue to this point. Yes. Alright. And green also. Go back to green again. Green. Then we go back to red. Now immediately you click on the red part. Just press enter. Alright. The spline automatically stops. This is what you have for the arc of the spline. Alright. This is what you have for it. Good. Now how do we get the one on top? Simple too. The same step. What we do is we type our spline. Spline. We type I'm so sorry for that error. Type our spline here to this. Well, what's wrong with your mouse? To this point. Alright. You don't need the 0.0, just ignore the 0.0. Type it to this point. Then back to this point. Alright, enter. Good. So you can see here, alright. Then I believe we don't need this part again, so we can trim it off. It has served its purpose. Yes. So basically, this is what you have. This is the curve you're expected to draw. This is what you're expected to get. And I believe I made a mistake here. Sorry, let's correct that. I believe I made a mistake there. It was not supposed to go for that. Spline. Yes. So start from here to this point. Alright. To this point. To this point. To this point. Then to this point. It's not this point. I chose this point, so it's to this point. Then to this point. Then to this point. Good. So basically this is what we have. This is the cylinder passing through the cone, and this is the other parts. Now we've done this already, right? So we are also to show this. Now this is where this is the final stage of this question. We're also to show these curves, all right, on the top here and on the bottom. All right, now how do we do that? It's very, very simple. You see all these ones that we have here to here to here to here, we are going to trace them out. Now how do we trace them out? It's simple. We'll come here. Now I want to reduce this. Let me use 0.4. I also use spline. So start from the point here to the point here. Remember, to yellow, then to 0. You have to draw it to 0 and coming 0 here to here to 0. I'll draw it back to yellow here. Okay. To green, and to get to green. Oh, didn't I make a mistake there? No, to red. We're going to have to red. So you're going to trace these points, right? You're going to trace them out like that. Then I believe there is something I miss here, but we're going to go with it. Then we have red from here, spline also. We're going to have from red. Remember what we had here, the points we connected here was from red to green to green to red. So that's the same thing we are going to do at the bottom here. Oh boy. Okay, so we're going to have from red to green to green to red. So we're having that. Alright? Yeah. If that's it. That's it. Only the point you connected there is what you're going to draw back here. Now, because you're going to show it that this is the curve or this is the arc, how it looks like, just highlight this, because you were supposed to draw it to the bottom too. That means you have to extend each of these lines down. Alright? But if you don't want to do that, come down to see which green line is this. Oh, the line of the circle. Good. So if you don't want to do that, alright, just pick this, then come and mirror. Alright, select center points, then do this. Alright, sorry. Good. Alright, if you take it this way or this way, as long as it's on this line. So good, we have this. Alright, so you just click. Do you want to erase all subjects? No. So basically this is what you have for it. This would be what you have inside for the for these parts and these parts. Alright, if you're looking at it from the top. And that's all. Alright, so this is all on this question on interpenetration. This is the curve we are supposed to draw. Alright, this curve is what we are supposed to draw. Now remember what I said earlier on. If the circle, alright, is extending out, it means the curve is going to be at the bottom and at the top. But if the circle stays inside the triangle, yes, let me use triangle, inside the triangle, it means that what we are going to have is the curve by this side here and by this side here. So basically that's it. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please subscribe. As much as you're liking the video, as much as you view it, please make sure you do subscribe to get more videos like this. Thank you and God bless.